Hello everyone! Last week the groundworks shifted from behind the barns to the front to the driveway. It meant Philippe was busy with both the excavator and the dumper, sifting, digging and carrying soil from the back to the front, as the entire driveway needs to be raised to the right level, which is going to be quite a bit. Some projects change everything, and for us the driveway is one of them, as we start to see it transform from a mix of mud, gravel and grass into something solid with a good base to build on. Once that base for the driveway is in place, it'll finally set the stage for the next big step, installing all the piping for the rainwater and French drains, one of our main goals from the start as a big part of water management on the property. And after months of setbacks, it feels like such a relief to be getting close. The piping we brought back from Belgium, along with the drains and the geotextile we ordered here, will at last serve their purpose instead of just laying in wait. The coming weeks will bring big changes to this whole site, and we're so excited to share that progress with you. By the end of the last video, Philippe had already managed to get quite a bit of the driveway done, almost reaching the halfway point between the newer barn and the old one. And just as a little reminder of what is happening here, Philippe explains.
What am I doing here? I took out all the rubble, put it on a pile over there that needs to be sifted. I dug until the yellow layer. Then I'm gonna put yellow soil from the back on top, and then on top of the yellow layer I'm gonna put the sifted material. That's a lot more fine, like this. And the reason why I'm also digging it out is because it has compacted too much and it was an impregnable layer. So when it would rain, water would always stagnate here. And also another good thing is because I have to put in a lot of pipes for rainwater, drainage, electricity, all sorts of things. It is very difficult to dig in this rubble layer, because now sometimes you have these big stones in. If you start digging that out, you're tearing everything apart. So it's a little bit of work, but for the future this will be the best.
So good news! With the new Bobcat battery delivered and installed, it's back to the simple joy of turning the key and having the engine start. After weeks of losing time with jump starting, it feels like pure luxury for Philippe.
Okay, this has been filled up with clean yellow soil on top of the other yellow soil. It's been smoothed out as much as I can. So now we're gonna put on the sifted material on top, another layer of 15 to 20 centimeters probably, and keep on working towards the house. So we are almost done because it gets less and less over there. Here I had to put on another 50, 60 centimeters maybe when I go over there of soil, and I had to do it in layers to dampen it a little bit as well. Just to give you a little idea how much higher I'm going here.
After days and days of digging, moving and sifting soil, the heavy work was starting to take its toll. Philippe had a goal in mind, and that was to get the soil from the driveway sifted and leveled before his nephew Loïc arrived, since he would be spending the coming weeks helping out with the outside work. Not to forget, if Philippe wanted to get the French drains in, he would need the right gravel, and that meant having the local stone quarry deliver what was needed. The logical spot for the big truck to drive on, deliver and dump the stones was on the leveled and raised driveway, but with the quarry scheduled to close for a few weeks, Philippe was on a tight schedule if he wanted to keep moving forward. Today, though, was a day when things did not go as planned. The tire that's punctured is the same one he had fixed with Claude 2 weeks ago, but this time it was so flat he could not just drive the dumper down to Claude's workshop to repair it there. Instead, he took it off here, brought it to Claude, got it fixed.
2 hours later, I have a tire with a new inner tire, an inner tube. I had one laying from the other dumper. You know what's funny? My neighbor was just here because they were using my wood chipper, and I told them, if you're not gonna do anything with wood chips, give them to me, I can use them in our vegetable garden. So he came with the wood chips, and we were having a chat, and I told him, again, my tire with all that metal around here, and that's why I'm cleaning, always cleaning. And the moment we're walking next to the chicken house, I see something sticking up, and what is it? A big metal piece. I'll grab it. This is the stuff that comes out of the ground here. So that's why I'm always having flat tires. Maybe not of that piece, although sometimes they're sticking like this, half, almost fully in the ground, and then this sticks out, you hit it with your tire, poof, and you have a problem.
Once the tire was back on, it was back to sifting duty, with the stone pile growing bigger and bigger with each dumper tip. One thing that was really great though was that for some reason we were dodging the rain that day, while all around us they had downpour after downpour. That meant work could continue, but the day would not be complete without something else breaking.
Then I need to re-weld my sieve. The front legs, I bumped against it with the excavator and the front leg broke off. So.
It might not seem so with the time-lapse shots showing the progress, but this is day 5 of this week's work on the driveway. Philippe finally reaches the front of the house where an improvised terrace had once been built from asphalt, which is now gone. This area in front of the house is where important pipes for water and sewage run, so we were curious to see what we would find, and Philippe worked a bit more cautiously here. Reaching this point feels like quite a milestone, knowing where we started and where we are now.
At some point, I don't know, 15 years ago, they put in a new septic system. This is the pipe from the house going to the septic system. So let's try not to damage this one. It will get replaced in the future, but for now it needs to work. So we'll cover it up once again. And once we start renovating the house, then we'll have to dig some parts open again, but it won't be as tough anymore because it will be the sifted material. So it will be a lot easier to work in and to open up. So this is the water feed going towards the old barn and the new barn. Then we have the main coming in like this. I don't know if it's right or left from the street. And I'm gonna uncover it a little bit as well so I don't hit it. Well, I'm not gonna do it now, just Gonna keep digging there, but I wanted to see this one at least. Clean this up. Nee, dat is veel minder werk dan, hè?
Het is gewoon, het is loose soil, hè. Het gaat gewoon...
Ja, het is dat. Het is ook hier op het gemak graven. Hè. Het is vrij raar weer. Dat wel wij doen. I shouldn't be able to hit it. It goes pretty deep, deeper than I'm gonna dig. And it goes like this, should be fine. So the only one I need to worry about a little bit is this one. Almost good here. On this is another 15, but this is the ground layer to put the geotextile on. Okay, I think I found two old garbage pits who are not on the surface. I think one over there and one there, where I'm getting loads of old porcelain and glass out of it, and it's a bit black. I'm not gonna take it all out, to be honest, because that's way too much work, and it's gonna be a meter under the finished level, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is. I took as much out as I can. This is the yellow layer, so I take it to that layer, and for the rest I'm gonna leave it alone. Gonna sift it out. Anisha is gonna help a little bit, because when I was putting that on a pile I heard a lot of glass, so there's a lot of glass in between that we're gonna try to take out. So if anybody knows, because that is actually my question, did they used to make garbage pits close to the house? Like dig a hole, chuck it full and afterwards close it? And was it this close to the house? Because this is 2 meters from the house. And I haven't found anything like this anywhere except for the plastic one, but that was on the surface, so that was not the same, that was recent. This is like old stuff, but no plastic, so that's why I'm just leaving it as it is. So why am I coming this far out? Is because if I have a trailer or something and I want to back it up inside the barn, the little well is in the way, so I will have to come through, past the little well, come here, put everything straight and then back up into it. So there will be a little drop of the driveway coming out just for that, so I can back up trailers or whatever inside the barn. Alright, time to sort all the stuff that I found around here. Glass with glass, metal with metal, and plastics with plastics. Found a load of metal. Like this. Old hinges that you smack into the wall and then you put your gate on here. But it's way too rusted to keep. Old hatchet. And I found loads of bottle caps. Old and new ones. I think not too long ago I saw on television, how do you call it? They asked people because now those bottle caps are attached to your bottles and some people don't like them. But this is the reason why, because I'm finding loads around here. 2 old pins with a square nut to attach something. I think this goes into the wall and then you attach a beam. It's an old way of attaching something. Might keep those, it's a pair. You can clean them up and just place them somewhere. Alright, done sorting it out. 1 heavy box of metals, glass, and then an assortment of plastics. And especially these kinds. These are from the pipes they put in when they put in the new septic system. So they leave their rests in the ground, so that's something typical in Belgium as well. They install something and the rest they push underground. This box is for Mr. Claude. Oh.